Well, I was referred to Restoring Freedom probably about 2.5, 3 years ago. And I was referred to Restoring Freedom because my life had become completely out of control. And I could not get the help that I needed to get things back on track. I had lost just about every relationship, and I was feeling completely victimized. And it's amazing how when you lose your church and you lose your job and you lose your family and you lose everything, how quickly you revert back to the ways that you used to do, like drinking and other things that aren't healthy for you. Mm-hmm. And so I was spiraling out of control, and I went to Restoring Freedom, and it was kind of a last-ditch effort for me. And what happened was, the first couple times I went, I absolutely hated it. I said I'd never go back. I said I don't want anything to do with this. But in saying that, what I was really saying is, I don't want to deal with my problems. This is going to be hard work, and I don't really feel like doing the work right now. Fortunately, I felt this nudging to keep going. And as I kept going, I began to see through just teachings every week and talking and discussions and stuff, I began to see that what I was doing was blaming everybody else for my situation and not taking responsibility for my choices. And then I read James. I remember reading James that said, "Consider it all joy." And I began to see that I was actually being made into another person. I think that God actually couldn't leave me where I was at when everything was wonderful in my life, because that's not who He wanted me to be. And so I kept going, and I have made the strongest relationships, and I have met men who actually love me. Mm-hmm. And being loved and being in a relationship, I don't know what it does. I don't know how it works. But something gets cleaned up. Your mind isn't so fuzzy anymore. Clarity starts to come, and things just get revealed to you. And I've actually thought about not going anymore, because every bad thing that's happened in my life has been resolved. Everything that broke down has been fixed. It's actually better in cases than it was before. But I'm afraid not to go, because it keeps me level. Those guys and those meetings and that love, it just kind of keeps me centered, and it keeps me focused, and it helps me to be mature. You see, I blamed everybody else because I didn't have the maturity to take responsibility. I was a classic victim. Everybody was ruining my life. This reminds me that I have choices. And one of those choices is to go and work on myself and become a better person. It's funny, this room we're in, right above me here, they call it a D-lam. It's a 32-foot beam that's 4 inches wide by 12 inches high, and it holds up the ceiling. And we started down at that end, and when we got down to this end, it was actually 2.5 feet away from where it was supposed to be, because We were off by 1 degree on that end. That's what I have to be careful of, is not to get off of degrees, and restoring freedom keeps me centered. I love all the guys in Restoring Freedom, and if you're struggling with anything, it's not a bad way to go. Thanks a lot.
Amen.